Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday. Hopefully you spent your weekend doing something that, maybe you didn't want to get away from the charts. Maybe you wanted to be super locked in the trenches, but regardless, hopefully you were able to have a relaxing weekend. We're going to talk about all things markets, of course. And maybe even some things that happened over the weekend. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I am joined by Max and Unbothered Jackus. Like I said, guys, happy Monday. I hope you all both had a great start to your week as well. A great weekend, spending time with your family, your loved ones, etc. Because it is now time once again for markets, guys. Bitcoin is back at 92K. And really, Bitcoin kind of took a bit of a breather on the weekend, didn't do anything, and then pumped, of course, into New York Open, right? It's just letting us know, once again, it is game time. Altcoins letting us know it is game time. It is a very active market, especially when these boomers are around the buttons, and we'll talk about that, though. One boomer in particular seems to love Bitcoin more than any other. That is Michael Saylor. He announced this morning 4 to 5 billion in MicroStrategy purchases over the last 1 to 2 weeks. We will discuss that, of course, and the continued flywheel Ponzi that is MicroStrategy this cycle. We got some movement on Solana over the weekend, but we also have some more stuff to cover as well, guys. Before I get too deep into it, I'm going to ask you. It is a Monday. Maybe we're still a little bit sleepy, a little bit tired from this past weekend, but I would be very appreciative, of course, if you guys can smash or slam the like button, whatever verb you need to justify hitting that like button for us. As Max always says, it is hugely, hugely appreciated because of these algorithms at YouTube, these big tech overlords. We can't control it. We wish we lived in a society where hitting the like button did not matter and you could just show up and enjoy our content, duty free. But it really does help the channel when you guys hit the like button. So we really appreciate when you do that. But no, like I said, Michael Saylor's buying a ton of Bitcoin. You had Sol pumping over the weekend. I think these are more or less just kind of a continuation of the animal spirits that we've seen over the last few weeks that have just been re-emerging in markets since the U.S. presidential election. We can kind of debate the reason behind that. Is it liquidity driven? Is it politically driven? It doesn't matter. The bottom line, the coins are trading higher, and you have, for the first time in years, just a domino effect of catalysts lining up for the crypto market. I'd be remiss if with Chef Jackus on the show I did not mention, of course, we had XRP finally starting to really aggressively move last week as well, which is another great signal for the altcoin market, right? We talked about the impact of having Gary Gensler out of office, what that will mean for altcoins. And of course, over the last week and a half, certain meme coins have really taken the reins. Obviously, it was Dogecoin a few weeks ago. Last week, it was Bonk and Pepe. Pepe getting the Robinhood and Coinbase listing, Bonk having the highest retail volume of any other meme coin on Coinbase. So I think there are a lot of signs that animal spirits are kicking back up, but markets are still appreciating, man. And momentum is very strong to the upside. So we're going to see how this continues to resolve over the next few months. But I have to say, man, as we get this week started, it sure does look pretty good. Maybe we range here for a week. Maybe we don't. I do think the end result will ultimately be Bitcoin going higher. And of course, a lot of these altcoins trading higher as well. But with that said, guys, let's go ahead and open up the floor. I'd love to know how you guys are interpreting the events of last week. Obviously, we talked about the Department of Government Efficiency. We talked about things, related to Pepe last week. But since then, we've had MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor announcing 4 billion worth of buys in Bitcoin. We had Solana almost trading near price discovery. I think we're within like 5 to 10%. And of course, XRP has been pumping as well. So you have this myriad of catalysts that I'd love to discuss. I think they're all very positive for crypto as a whole. But what do you guys think about these things in relation to the trend that we've seen, obviously, for markets thus far? And as always, guys, it's a Monday. I have to ask, how was your weekend and how did you spend it?
Hello, Tommy. Hello, Chef Jackus. Hello, Market Check audience. Thank you guys so much for being here. My weekend was good, man. I had a nice weekend. Um, Kind of flew by. I feel like I just kind of hung out, you know. I saw a couple buddies, and then I watched the UFC fight as well. So that was good. Saw John Jones win. He's an absolute monster. He's actually incredible, man. Like he's just a man amongst boys, is what it is. So watch that, and then hung out with the wife and kid and some family. Everything was good. Um, Listen, guys, I won't even argue or debate with bears. Like if you're bearish, go somewhere else. I'm not gonna have it. I won't have it. I won't have this paranoid, schizophrenic, delusional bearishness anywhere near this show. I won't even entertain it. Um, Bitcoin just absolutely smashed its previous highest weekly close. We're starting to see a lot of charts kind of perk up and get ready for that next leg up, which I think it's a matter of days or like a few weeks at the latest, you know. But if you were to ask me, you know, gun to my head, like, are we going to close the year higher or lower than here? I would say I can't answer that because you didn't give me the appropriate question. You didn't give me the appropriate answers. You gave me higher or lower. The box that I want to check is Gorillions higher, not just higher, because it's important to differentiate between higher and Gorillions higher. It's way different, guys. I think if you can just stick with it and ignore all of the bearish freaks out there, all the overthinkers. This is what we live for. This is why we spend all day, all night, years staring at dead charts, dealing with scrutiny, being the black sheeps of our families at Thanksgiving. There's our little investor, right? You guys know the meme. Come on, tell us, how's your little Bitcoin thing doing? There's our little investor. That guy. Listen, crypto's about to become really cool again. I'm starting to get a lot of text. Like people kind of know what I do. The normies are back, guys, but it's like early stage normie. All right, it's the early stage normie. It's like the normie that is slightly more affluent than like, you know, your I don't know. I don't even know. Just this is the early phase normie, okay? But the good news is normies only come back during alt season. They missed the whole Bitcoin dominance rally. They always do because nothing gets the normie more excited about crypto than having to pay 2 or 3 times as much as people that just stuck with it through boring times. The normie loves to overpay for digital assets. And the truth is, they're all going to make money on it. They won't sell because they've been promised a 40 or 50x from here. So they'll hit an 8 or 9x on an altcoin and then they won't sell. You know, we will sell. They won't sell. But this is when that next phase of the cycle like really heats up, guys. Like from a cyclical point of view, the next at minimum like 4 months should be insane, but I think it could be much longer than that. Um, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I won't entertain any bearish cases right now. If you have one for me and you've thought it out, I will ignore you. You know, I will ignore you, and I will disrespect your opinion because I just can't. I look at the chart and I can't be bearish right here. Um, it just isn't going to happen, man. Like there was a time and a place to be bearish and cautious and entertain it. And I know some bears personally. And at this point, you're just a sideline coper, and that's the truth, you know. And I hate to even say it like that because it might be interpreted as rude. But if the truth is rude, then I'm sorry, you know. Then I'm sorry that I'm rude. But I want you guys to make money. Um, and there is not a damn thing bearish about this market right now. Not a damn thing. I look at it all. I talk to everybody. There's nothing. There's nothing. Unless we're presented with new information, which we don't have access to yet. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm bullish. I'm bullish to the gills, man. It is It is what we wait for. It is what we wait and we work years for, is for this next little stretch of time. So if you're bearish, go somewhere else, man. And that's being nice, because I could say that a different way too. And I have said that a different way. So
If you don't like Big Red, then
yeah, exactly. Hey, it's Ricky Bobby here. If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you. That's how I feel. It's like, hey, if you're not bullish crypto here, then fuck you. It's time, guys. It's time. It's time. I don't know. Like, that was kind of it. It just, I know we're staring at the Pepe Coinbase chart, but like, it's just, we're just going like so much higher, man. I don't know like what we're talking about. What are we even talking about? Jackus, can you tell me what we're talking about? Anybody?
I have no idea what are we talking about. Higher.
Yeah, even Chef has no idea what we're talking about. He's like, what's the, there's no discussion to be had. It's just
Guys, do you see that name and the face I have here on the logo? That's the face I had through the entire range. Basically, I joined here every single day, unbothered, moisturized, happy, flourishing in my own lane, Jackies, chat.
Yeah.
And I told you many times, and I kept hearing, no, 40K is next. And if we pump, it's the top, and then it's a bear market. The bear market PTSD have never been higher as during this cycle. I have never seen more people trying to call the cycle top than this one. And it's as stupid as just staying bullish as long as the market is. I will keep on saying this every single day. We ride a trend, and we are not trying to be the smart asses. We are not trying to be, the know-it-all guys. We just play the probabilities that's in front of us. We have respect towards the market, and the market will have the respect for us then.
somebody pointed out H bar in the comments. It's up 54% today.
What?
And by the way, guys,
Point.
I remember the XRP hate last week. As Tommy pointed out, karma hit very quickly towards those people. I have not seen a bigger hate. Like every single time, it's the most hated coin, absolutely. And the most hated rally, therefore, because so many people cope about it. But I think past week was probably the most, like at the beginning, that was the most hated comment section I've seen. And it's likely going to keep ripping.
Oh,
So
it's
enjoy it.
definitely gonna keep
Haters.
thing. Jackus, you weren't there on the Friday afternoon call with our subs, but I was like, don't tell Jackus, but I was seriously considering the possibility that XRP goes to 1 trillion today. And I'll be honest, like I do think that it does have a non-zero chance of happening, and I think if you get some sort of like, wouldn't it be so fitting for just an XRP parabola, because we're so used to it pumping at the very end, like that's just the giga crypto top. It was something I was kind of considering over the last few days, but I think it's going to go quite a bit higher before that happens. It's just a matter of like, do I think that it's going to pull a pump on linear scale or log scale, right? But
Log scale.
Put your
Log
loggles
scale.
on.
yeah, no, I think Jackus has absolutely nailed the XRP trade, guys. It's probably going a lot higher.
Look, guys.
So
look at this. The 1.618 of this giant range is just under 1 trillion. You will study and observe it.
If XRP hits 1 trillion or is trading above it, I really think like it's probably close to time.
Todd says XRP is everything crypto should not be centralized garbage. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, what isn't? Like people keep hating on XRP, like they just hate on it for the sole reason someone told them it's good to hate on it. But at the same time, and I love the tweet by Donald today. He basically said, "Wait, I gotta find it and read it quote by quote." He literally quote this one: XRP goes everything crypto stands for. right? That's the quote that everyone says. And then he says, while trading meme coins, pump and dumps, and outright scams. Brother, nothing in crypto follows the crypto ethos anymore, not even BTC with the way it has embraced Sailor. Trade what you have to do, just know it is all a scam. And that's how you should do it. So like people hating on XRP because it's XRP is absolutely stupid if you are doing literally the same thing elsewhere with a different ticker name. It just makes no sense. Trade a chart, and the chart was really good. And if we can learn, and I, by the way, agree with you, it's just that like it makes no sense to be hating on it while trading everything else. Like if you are in crypto, then hating on XRP makes no sense, really. Trade a chart, and each side, and I agree, this like in the past 3 years, whenever XRP pumped, it was the top. But in every time before, XRP started to pump first in each cycle. And we discussed XRP to 1 trillion. And while I'll stay conservative and have my base case at the fact that XRP should reach ETH market cap, which currently sits around 380 billion. We also have to take into account a future ETH price appreciation. And my ETH targets for the cycle are 1 to 2 trillion for ETH market cap. Its all-time high sits at 550 billion, so it's not even 100% above its all-time highs, which I think to a degree is a joke, that ETH wouldn't make it. And XRP has always traded above or at pair with ETH prior to the SEC case. The SEC case hasn't been closed yet. Donald Pump currently, trying to figure out that there would be no capital gains on certain cryptos, maybe all of them. So how bullish is that? I mean, I also think that the 1T, that's overextension for me, but I do not think it's that unrealistic given the 7-year range.
I agree, and
Again,
think
last thing, Tommy, last thing, and then you can completely cook on everything you want to. I won't stop you. But last thing is that, again, subsidize the ticker with a random ticker. You can call it whatever, ABC. Just subsidize the XRP ticker with everything else. Just trade the chart, and you would be insanely bullish on it.
I feel like the fact that XRP is showing so much strength is symbolic, not just in the sense that, obviously that Gary Gensler is going to be out. XRP has been the most heavily scrutinized asset by the SEC throughout this current administration, but I think you can draw some parallels to kind of Trump's first administration, right? Which during his first admin, you had, I think Wabi actually pointed this out on one of our afternoon calls a few weeks ago. Maybe it was last week, but regardless, we had the ICO era in the first Trump administration. XRP was kind of symbolic of the ICO era at the time, at least if you want to look at like coins that pulled the most multiples from the bottom. XRP would definitely be one of them. So I do think it's kind of fitting that you're seeing, we call them animal spirits. Some people would call them crime. I guess the correct answer is probably somewhere in between, right? People feel a lot more spurred on to take risks. Context can vary. But yeah, you're seeing that with XRP pumping for really the first, I guess it pumped in May of 2021, but you're seeing, I think, the most constructive pump on XRP since probably high time frame pump on XRP since probably the ICO era. And I think that's probably what crypto is about to enter into as it pertains to meme coins. And I saw somebody over the weekend compare pump.fund to kind of the ICO era back in 2017. I don't know if it's quite the same thing. I wasn't around back then, but I do think a lot of these meme coins launch under a similar premise, right? There's definitely some insider aspects to these meme coins, especially in how supply ends up getting concentrated, but it does provide opportunity for discovery and price for retail in a way that these high FDV tokens in 2021 did not.
I love that example or the comparison of pump.fund to the ICO era. I don't know how the whole pump.fund thing resolves. I feel like somebody goes to jail for crime, many people, but I mean, in the short term, there's nothing more bullish than altcoin crime. I mean, we know that from last cycle. So yeah, it's just I find it really like the entire market, right? I mean, look at like others right now. If you see on the right side of my screen here, guys, like total's up 2.75. Total 2 is up 3.2728. Total 3 is up basically the same. Others, which is like your shit coins, right? Everything outside the top 10 by market cap, it's up like 5.7% today. It's leading, right? And the same time, you're seeing others' dominance put in this high time frame higher low. You're about to see this thing just teleport, man. Like you're about to see this. You're about to see others' dominance go like this. And this is everybody's a genius season right here. I'm pretty sure Bitcoin dominance has topped. I'm pretty sure at this point, unless this thing sells off again. But I mean, we're kind of just like churning here at the highs. And like I feel like this is
I think you get one last leg on dominance, and then it's going to keel over.
I'm fine with that. I don't know. It's just so close, man. It's like here's how I view it is like, yeah, we could have one more stab up, right? Like look at the lines I had drawn from, a couple weeks ago or whatever. I could see this. But I also would not advocate to anybody out there that like you shouldn't position in altcoins yet until you get that last push up, because you just don't know for sure. And also altcoins are still pumping, So like the scenario I'm looking for would literally be like Bitcoin dominance to 62 with like 105K Bitcoin. That's probably what it would look like. So I don't know. I'm just I'm just ready for this thing to collapse. And like I think it's going to. I think we're starting to see it. I really do.
When I look at Bitcoin, I think Jackus and I kind of have like a similar view of how we expect Bitcoin to play out, I think, over the next week, where it could just rip straight up to 100K. I kind of think it might establish a bit more of like a range in here for another week. But that's like relative, I when I look at Bitcoin, it looks like it did in mid-December of 2020. So with that timing in mind, I do think that Bitcoin dominance has one last leg up before you really start to see altcoins catch up, from that standpoint. But catch up is relative, because you look at some of these meme coins, man, and they've already moved so much off the bottom, right? Like I saw a tweet about it over the weekend. Bonk, for example, was an underperformer in the market and lagging behind for weeks, and then over the course of a week repriced all the way to all-time highs. So you have a few markets that, even though we may or may not be ready for the Bitcoin dominant shift yet, but you're seeing a few altcoin markets really outperform. And of course, like there's always something going on chain.
Yeah.
Like this weekend, there were multiple super cookers that I didn't even hear about until like Saturday morning.
Oh, Tommy, you must have heard about one from Bill.
Oh, I definitely heard about one.
Bill was very loud about one. Yes.
What wild Hagrid appears.
Will gave out an absolute super cooker in the Discord, by the way, guys. So just more incentive for you guys to sign up, because the BB Discord absolutely cooked once again. Quite frankly,
he basically got everybody in the BB Discord, like 500K market cap on Barsic. So study this.
Shout out to the doctor.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always opportunity on chain, but I think you're going to start to see some of these larger cap coins move more aggressively. We're already kind of seeing it over the weekend with Solana finally breaking out. I think it'll be interesting to see what Sol does here. Previous all-time high, are we going to slice right through it or maybe chop around it for a few weeks? I think I'm kind of in the latter camp. But aggressive price discovery for Sol is probably not far away.
Here's the thing with Sol. We know that Sol, first of all, Tucker, welcome, bro. Thrilled you got to join us. Also, study the puppet, man. That's a 10 Bitcoin holy grail right there.
Yes,
you're just trying to show it off, man.
Yes.
You know. But Sol has been leading this market all cycle. It kicked us off in October of 2023. And if you have been watching its movements closely, when Sol starts ripping, typically the rest of the market follows because Sol, I think Jack has said it this morning on our Discord call. Sol is the gambler's chain. Sol is the, hey, we are ready to shitcoin chain. When Sol goes up, the rest of the market that is not gambling based will follow. All right. I can't look at the Sol chart here and think that the rest of the market is not about to immediately reprice higher. Sol was weekend pumping. You know, I mean, look at this thing. What are we talking about? Like how? Let's pull up Bitcoin underneath this. Look at this. Here's Bitcoin down here. Like Sol was so much more aggressively ripping over here. You know, like the timing was similar-ish, but like I remember right in October, like Bitcoin had a little markup and then Sol just ripped. Sol went from $20 to $120 when Bitcoin went from 30 to 46, right? So I can't help but think we're kind of doing the same thing right now. Like you might see Bitcoin kind of just like grind higher, but I feel like Sol is about to go vertical. And furthermore, I think that, I mean, really all L1s and shit coins are going to go vertical right now. I think this is the rotation, man. I really do.
I think the interesting thing with Sol is going to be when it breaks out, how do on-chain memes perform? At least, you know, initially, I think you're going to see some liquidity drain into Solana as people chase the breakout. In the same way that, you know, something like Pepe broke out and people immediately started leaving beta to chase Pepe only for the beta to pump the next day. You could see something like that happen on chain for Sol, but I kind of feel like Sol could do something like what ETH did, around like $500 or $600 here. Maybe that's a little bit. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? That was about where Sol or ETH rather last cycle got really choppy, but entered the vertical accumulation structure. They made it really difficult to catch the golden ETH long to like 4K.
Let me take a look at ETH from last cycle, actually. So, dude, ETH looks good here. ETH looks really good here. Like, if we can get back above the high from last week, we're going to send, like, very, very, very hard. So, Tommy, you're talking about, like, this rotation, right?
Yes.
Right in here.
Like after you cleared the highs of that structure, that little chop that we had before it just started ripping, I kind of feel like that could be where Solana is right now. But it doesn't have to take a pit stop at all. If Bitcoin's going to be ripping, then, I mean, Sol is the premier beta of Bitcoin this cycle. It will follow.
I mean, I kind of, yes, I agree that's maybe where Sol is, but I also kind of think that's also where ETH is in a way. If we just mark out like cyclically, like this is when that rotation kind of happened last cycle, right? It's like Bitcoin charging up into the all-time high, you know? So it was like, they made it hard to catch. This is in log mode because, you know, it really looked like this, which, I mean, it's a crazy move, right? This is huge, but you know, if you just get long ETH or Sol as Bitcoin is charging higher, it's like, it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Like, just know that altcoins trigger, like, they just giga pump when Bitcoin goes into price discovery. And look no further, my friend, Bitcoin is in price discovery. You know, it is without question charging higher, and it's probably going to continue. So I'm like, why would you not get long altcoins here? Like, look at what happened to ETH last cycle. And this might be, you know, what Sol is. Sol might be like right here, right now. I think that's what Tommy's saying. Like, this could be.
Well, Max, we should do the the market cap charts because Sol is at all-time high market cap right now.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tucker, do you have that? Can you pull that up?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
What? No camera today for Big Country. You don't get to see that.
No,
Big smile?
my wife is running around in the background and doesn't want the camera on. So, yeah, hold up. So Sol and ETH, because ETH isn't at all-time high market cap, is it? I don't think it is.
No, definitely not.
So, no, it's at 383 bill. Okay, let me just share screen.
And hey, guys, while Tucker's pulling this up, we got 727 people watching on YouTube, and we got a couple thousand watching on X. Do us a solid, right? Just hit that like button. It really helps the channel, really helps us grow. We're so appreciative that you guys are here. But unfortunately, it actually matters a lot if we get likes on the video. I wish it didn't matter, but we're able to grow as quick as we are because you guys take the time to actually hit the like button. So please consider doing us that solid real quick. Hit that thumbs up button for us. And if you're watching on Twitter, hit the heart button and also hit the retweet button. Let your friends know. Let your mailman know. Let your grandma know. You know, retweet it. It's so easy to share it, right? It's so easy. It helps us a lot. Thank you guys. All right, they ran it up 330 likes, so we're not quite halfway. That means that less than half of the audience liked it on YouTube, which is pretty bad. It's actually abysmal. But,
It's actually soybean time.
Oh no.
I don't even think they deserve soybeans, Jack, because I think you're wrong. I don't think they've earned the soybeans because I think they like the soybeans. I think maybe they deserve
The Dollar General chart.
Oh, Tommy,
That's the worst.
That's too cruel.
Is it?
I mean, there must be like can we do like cocoa divided by cotton candy? You know,
Yeah,
so like chocolate against sugar, you know, that kind of thing.
I think this is cocoa. Yeah, this is cocoa.
One of these days, we're gonna accidentally discover some like secret government money laundering.
Oh, it's up only against cotton
this
candy.
one.
Oh my God.
So, Tucker, walk us through what you're seeing here.
Oh, well, I'm seeing that if you are holding cotton candy, if you've been a cotton candy bag holder, you should have pivoted to chocolates a long time ago.
So for all the guys that are working, like for all the carnies, you know, the fair guys, you're telling me that it's been far more lucrative to be selling chocolate than it has been cotton candy.
This looks like a soul shitcoin, man. Literally, this is a soul pattern right here, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But Tucker, the world needs to know, what does cocoa look like against Zcash?
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, okay. I bet
Tommy woke up and chose violence today.
Oh, I can't do it like that. All right. Z.
Cocoa bears are seething.
Cocoa bear.
All right. So we got the 404 likes. That's pretty good.
Still pretty much up only.
But you want to, so it's better to own Cocoa than it is Zcash, right?
I mean, if you're holding Cocoa against Zcash, it might, or if you're holding Zcash against Cocoa, it might be a nice time to pivot.
Yeah.
Back to Cocoa.
Yeah.
Well,
that song that's like, I'm in love with the cocoa. That song. You should play that in the background while we chart this.
Well, I was gonna say, was it that guy from if you're in crypto, pivot to AI, and it was like 16K Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yes. God, those AI Solana memes are absolutely insane, man.
I'm just kind of ignoring the meta at this point.
I am too. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. Too much.
I can't turn my brain off enough to thrive in that narrative.
It's just like, oh, let me just tell ChatGPT to run a Twitter account. Like, that's literally what's happening, and they're going to hundreds of millions of dollars.
But Tucker, it's revolutionary and game changing technology. Here's a thread about it.
Oh my
I think it's such a fad, man. I think these AI coins are gonna. I don't know, man. Like, have fun with it while it lasts. I think it will continue for a bit, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, honestly.
If
And that's,
Nvidia
and I don't,
gets-
I couldn't even name like 3 AI tickers. I just think it's like corny and just like, dude, it's not like profound that like Chat GPT is running your Twitter account like made a shit coin, you know? I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
that's enough of a lasting narrative, you know, for
Well, it's
continued
just like
circulation.
it's the attempt to bring together like memes are hot, AI is hot. Let's just smash them together and see what happens type of
Yeah.
mentality.
That makes sense.
It's
I
kind
mean,
of
Yes.
working, but
it's like
What
pineapple
likes we?
that's
What
your-
likes we at?
it's pretty good. We're at, oh my gosh, we're at 420, man. 420.
wow.
But we have 750 people watching, so it's
What? That's a
pretty
lot.
mediocre.
Yeah, because there's 300 people that think that they're above the like button. Jackus, that's exactly
The-
why.
No, Max. They think that they get to get the free alpha and not do anything about it, not even press the like button.
You know what? The worst part is that they're right. Because we'll continue the show because we're nice guys, you know.
Mhm.
But they're sitting there smug, you know. I don't need to hit the like button. No, I don't like videos. No. It's just okay, you know. It's all right.
I mean, what are our expectations for Nvidia here? Because I feel like some of those AI coins are going to
Wait,
be
is
very.
that today, Tommy?
It is, I think, today.
Yeah.
Personally, my expectations are maybe you see Nvidia trade higher more in December than November, but
No, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, brother. It's Wednesday.
I do
The-
think Nvidia is going higher this cycle, right? Like it's been the market leader.
No, I do too. I don't see any reason not. Okay, reported 30 Billy. That's a pretty high estimate. They raised their expectations from last. Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean it probably just grinds higher. I like this
tend to think
green
that's
box.
something that in December gets allocated to probably pretty heavily because the back half of November, the back half of every month, man, we always know the flows are kind of iffy, but I imagine if the earnings estimates are really high, I bet you they probably come in around at expectation, whipsaw everybody after hours, and then in like a week start ripping.
0.74. Yeah, I mean they set a pretty high bar on both compared to last quarter. I mean, I don't know if Q4 is traditionally more profitable for them or not, but yeah, that's a pretty high bar. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, I could see them like, you know, think you're bottoming here. Oh, it's over. You know, into the end of the year, rip it.
I feel like any
Sorry.
equity melt up, you're gonna have to have Nvidia leg higher.
Yeah, I mean, what is like QQQ looks pretty similar to Nvidia. I mean, dude, these equity charts are just up only. It's pretty wild. IWM looks great still.
Do you
That's
guys
gonna
think
be a
that
vertical.
IWM pumps the moment alt pump?
I think
You're
it's the
saying-
opposite way, personally. I think IWM is going to gap up eventually,
Mhm.
and then it's like the floodgates open.
So you think IWM goes first before the altcoins?
I have to think that because of what's happened in the previous 2 cycles,
Yeah.
but I'm also open to it being a little different this time because, I mean, TradFi bros might be bidding Bitcoin and ETH ETFs instead of the Russell this time when they want to go risk on. The RR is better. And
Mhm.
also, Bitcoin has never made an all-time high without the Russell also going into price discovery. And look at what's happening right now. So we are kind of in similar fashion to what we saw earlier this year. We are a little bit out in front of our skis, cyclically speaking, kind of benchmarking ourselves against, you know,
Mhm.
legacy indexes. But yeah, I think, let me rephrase it. I don't think that for altcoins to pump, you need the Russell to be in price discovery, clearly. But
Mhm.
God, the boomers must love that chart, man. But I do think that the Russell being in price discovery is kind of that final gust of wind in our sails to just go fully stupid, like ridiculously higher.
Well, because I agree. Like, if I could only trade TradFi and I couldn't trade crypto, I would not buy the Russell, man. I would be shoving ETFs. Like, there'd be no.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think probably slightly differently than like your, 47-year-old hedge fund
Really?
manager.
You
But
think so?
I don't know.
Big
But
Haggard
yeah,
has the alpha, man. The hedge fund managers need to study Big Haggard.
I imagine that we see IWM rip towards the very end. I don't know if it's before or after altcoins, because I kind of think that altcoins can have multiple months of outperformance. But like the part where Bitcoin dominance isn't in an absolute free fall, maybe IWM is ripping together with altcoins. But I do think that you're going to see IWM like go parabolic probably last because of what it represents in equity markets. I mean, we were kind of like touching on it without saying it a little, like just a second ago, but IWM is kind of like it's a small cap index, but it will underperform top small caps like Robinhood. And so for that reason, and just kind of the nature of a lot of small cap stocks, hedge funds use short IWM as part of the trade to be long big tech. So when you see IWM like just ripping, it usually means that you're seeing hedges get completely blown out, which is usually what you see before like the end anyway. So I'm kind of going to theorize that you're seeing IWM go parabolic, like probably towards the end of the market cycle.
Is QQQ topping against IWM, Tommy? Looks a little toppy here, brother. Maybe. Wait, when is this from?
Maybe.
This is from 2000. This is 25 years of price action. I mean, probably not like cyclically topping, but like, you could maybe see a little. Maybe. That would be epic for us. That would be unreal.
I feel like it's hard to trade the IWM. Like you can trade the chart, but the components of it are very unreliable to be expecting a pump from, right? Because there is a lot of dead weight and garbage in the IWM specifically. But I feel like something like Hood is very representative of the interest and risk appetite in the market. I'm gonna keep saying that. I feel like Hood is more or less like IWM without any of the baggage.
God, the buys down here after that whole fiasco, man. Oh my God. The $8, $9 Hood buys. Oh my goodness gracious.
We caught that first move out of the range, by the way.
Yeah.
I remember that big one.
And I caught the $17 retest
Yeah.
and this recent pump with the group.
Yeah.
This thing's going way higher.
I've kind of stopped playing individual stocks for right now because I just feel like the RR and like meme coins and just altcoins is so much greater. But there is a lot of opportunity in select small caps. Like if you've been playing, I mean, you could even just play spot, like just buying Robinhood shares for the past year. You're crushing it, right? And if you know how to play options, you've been really crushing it. But I still think I just still think the RR is better just in spot crypto right now than anything else. So it's hard for me to find a lot of motivation to play stocks here.
I absolutely agree with you that for this very specific time period, crypto has higher RR, but I still do love to play stocks regardless because I love to have different portfolios and I can focus on those, build those, and get good buys, and I do not have to stress it out in crypto then. Like, I think that adds better value for me than just maximizing the local gain here in crypto and just being all in crypto, so that I can again have a stock portfolio where I can do really well and mainly get really good buys in that will likely keep outperforming over the years when crypto stops outperforming.
That's true. I agree with you. I'm not super diversified right now. I'm trying to prove a point, so probably better to invest like
diversification is a meme. Yeah,
it's not enough for me to win. I must prove a point. So we're on a mission right now.
I mean, guys, Like, is this chart right now? You know, maybe.
I've been asking myself the same thing, Tucker. It's
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. You know, this came from here. 1, 2, 3. Shallow pullback. See ya. I mean, yeah, dude, Mog looks primed. I don't know if it's gonna give that last little drop. You know, I mean, if
It's
so, like, you know, it'd
it's
be like,
objectively the best cat coin, so I feel like it should.
yeah,
What is it at right now? Like 700 or 800 mil?
Nah, billion, just under a billion. Mog will do well, man. It's a soft toss, honestly.
Yeah.
I think the only thing standing in its way short term is that it had the Binance futures listing, which has been kind of a price suppression for basically everything after it happens. But once you
Mhm.
get through that initial period, you typically fly, you know. So I think it's just maybe gonna lag for a little bit because of the Binance listing, which is short term bearish or neutral, but higher time frame very
Max,
bullish. Yeah.
Max, explain to me though why hold Mog if I can hold Andy?
It's a
I
good
can't
question.
explain that to you because I don't think that you should. Because I think that, I mean, look, it's, you have to recognize the regime, right? Like, okay, the reason you would buy Mog over something like Andy or Wolf is because you're trying to build a $2 or $3 million position. You're not
Yeah.
going to be able to effectively size into Andy and Wolf with that kind of size without moving the charts a lot, which I mean, it won't really matter long term, but um, if you have like, you know, if you have like 100K or less, the idea is, I mean, you're pumping somebody else's bags versus maybe pumping your own. And I think that the RR is going to be better on the smaller memes, like the sub 500 mil memes here. But again, the only reason I think right here you would buy Mog over Andy and Wolf specifically, based on the data, is because you're a big player and you're trying to size into it. So that's the
Mhm.
only reason I could think of. But what about you, Jackus?
Well, you described it perfectly. I would
Thank
only
you.
size in into Mog if I had liquidity issues. But if I didn't, which I suppose most people don't, then Andy is the answer. Andy
Ja-
is the answer.
Jackus, we got 500 likes, man. Would you be such a gentleman and show us what you're seeing in the charts? Because 500 likes is good. That's really good.
There is something very interesting that that I was just putting on. Wait.
Let's see it, brother.
That's the USDT market cap, which keeps on increasing at a rapid pace.
It's clearly a bearish pump, Jackus, right? I mean, that's what I've been told. I don't
Do I
don't
even
It's
believe
the
his lie.
cartel. It's
Do
a
I
scam.
study crime?
Steady
Yes,
crap.
study it.
Tether to zero, guys. It's all gonna collapse. Peter Brandt told me.
Okay. So here's the thing. Can you imagine the cope from someone like Bitfinex if one of the Tether, like somebody high up on Tether, actually ended up as the U.S. Secretary of Treasury? And for the record, I actually want the other guy to be the one who's chosen, but like that would just be so funny to me if Bitfinex had to be like, yeah, I've been calling this a scam for almost a whole decade. Well, somebody on their board is now in the U.S. like he's the Secretary of Treasury. So
The cope would actually be going through their all tweets and deleting them. It is what it is. We know how that game goes. But what I find interesting is how, again, you see BTC rising and you see the USDT market cap rising. Right now.
I mean, it's a perfect correlation, right? I mean, it's perfect. And it's trending up and it's going to continue to trend up. And then if you look at, you know, Tether dominance about to break down, it's like you have Tether market cap increasing with Tether dominance dropping.
Yeah.
Perfect paradigm.
This is something that I was discussing for a while, is that we do have some targets for USDT dominance, but people, let's say you're targeting this low, right? What people forget is, and they would be like, yeah, that's just 10% away, so that means that the top is very close. But that's not the reality, because if you look at it, well, first of all, I would target lower, but second, if you look at it, right, this is clearly where USDT dominance bottomed, and this is where BTC topped. So like it does that, there's a good alpha in it. But what you forget is, look how high USDT dominance went during the pullback versus how not so low BTC went during that time period. And if you look at the levels, it's actually the post ETF sell-off low. And so BTC never went there while USDT dominance did. And the reason for that is simply because in that time period, let's put the levels side by side, is that you had how much is it? Approximately, you had like nearly 20 billion of USDT market cap increase. And that's the reason for it. And so, and since then, by the way, you had another 13 billion market cap increase. And so, well, right now, BTC is already trading 25% above its March highs. USDT dominance isn't trading somewhere around here. And the reason for it is that USDT market cap keeps increasing, and the likelihood of it that it's going to keep increasing is really big, because that's what happens each cycle. This is I put it into log mode because you wouldn't see anything down here. And there's in each cycle there is a big USDT market cap increase, and it keeps going for a while, and it's likely going to keep going for a while. So while the USDT dominance will be going down, and when it hits a certain level, then there is a good chance for it to mark a BTC top, but it's going to have a tough battle getting there because of the rising market cap of USDT of Tether, right?
So is it even signal anymore, Jackus?
Like, huge signal. No,
like
there's
dominance.
a huge
Dominance,
signal.
I mean, not the market cap. Like, because the market cap's going up, throwing. All right, well, we are right at the line. We need to break this line, man. I'm tired of this line. It needs to get broken. Like, draw the line, Jackus. Draw the line.
You mean this one? Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah. It's literally.
Well, let me explain why this line is about to get broken.
It needs to.
Because and by the way, look at this, right? This was September 2023, and that's when we really got out of bear market, like for real, like when we reclaimed the higher time frame range. Like we got out of bear market here, but this was like the big higher time frame reclaim. Look at the market cap at that time of Tether. Whoosh. Like it was going sideways here during this range, and then whoosh, whoosh. Look at the prior cycle. Going sideways all the way here until COVID, and then whoosh, whoosh. I like the whooshes. So when we talk about Tucker, when we talk about this one, let me give you reasons why it's going to break down. And this happens into this happens in many trends. So there is a big difference when a trend forms. And you still have a trend, but you have lower highs into it. I'm not gonna give the alpha here too much, just a little. It's going to be big still, but there's a difference when you have a market and it's on a trend and it keeps making higher highs. This is different than when I did previously. There is a difference then. In this case, when you have a market that does keep making higher highs because like this was the move up here, but there's a difference when you have this move, right? And there's, by the way, there's also a difference when you see this and then you see like big move and then pushback. This is not the same type of trend. So magnitude of these moves differs too. And so when you see something like we saw here, where you have the big one, sorry, you have a normal trend, then you have the big push, and then you have a distribution there. The market does come back, and on the first go, there is a good likelihood of a bounce, and that's what we got here, right? This move is right here. But it's only a mere bounce, and then it's a bouncing ball, so it's going to approach this trend line again, and there is a good chance it might bounce a little, but then it rolls over and it goes for this low.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I need that. I need that to happen.
So what you want to see here too, it's like everywhere. I'm like the master of market structure. What you want to see here is right this one. This is the bigger market structure you're seeing leading into this, into all these lows. And what you might get, again, might, is a bounce here. Doesn't have to happen. A little.
Can't have it. No. No bounces.
Doesn't fit my bias. I ignore it.
Yeah.
It does fit the bias, and the BB Discord members knows what I just discussed, and newsletter guys knows what I discussed today for possibility of BTC. And then you are going to get this. So this trend line is about to get broken. Good likelihood of it. This is a perfect, like when this happens, this move right here, let me put it in another terms. This move right here is this move right here. If I can find just a clear chart. Yeah, I think I could do with this. You basically had a run above, significant high. And then you break a significant low.
No, Jackus. It's 40. It's lower. I think it's lower. I think it's 48K Bitcoin.
No.
Study it.
It's right here. It's right here. The thing is that depending on local levels and local context, doesn't mean you will get exactly this right here, right? Like that's not the case. What you just need to do is know that you've just broken the higher time frame structure, and what you are going to do is go for the low. Couple that with
so
this.
You're telling me there's a chance.
The probability is skyrocket high.
Where is your okay? Let me ask you on this. So you're expecting a breakdown. Study that. Do you have at this point a high time frame cycle target for tether dominance, Jackus? And if so, where would that be?
And I'm not gonna tell.
Jackus, please.
It is what it is.
No, give me a okay.
I love it.
Allow us to earn the cycle target, Jackus. Maybe there's a certain amount of likes that would motivate you to share it. No?
777.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
It is what it is. I gave lots of it. That's all people need to know for now.
Greedy Jackass.
No, people are greedy.
Greedy Jackus. you want to call it like.
Jackus is actually very generous here. Jackus didn't have to put on his chart and show anything, but he decided to do it. So it's all about perspectives.
Is 0 your target? Tether dominance is at 0?
Minus. We need to go to minus 2%.
Hey, oil went negative. Why can't tether dominance?
I don't want to root for tether dominance to go to 0.
Tommy, how about 0.01?
Maybe if ETH has staking, but otherwise, no. I don't think it would go that low. If you know, you know.
I feel like that was a hidden bearish comment.
Maybe. You don't want ETFs to get the staking. I'll just say that. But I do think that tether dominance is about to drop as well, in similar fashion to what Jack has highlighted, right? Like maybe a little bounce here because we are trading at that line, but it does feel, given the momentum, that you're about to enter a pretty massive leg down. And I think what Jack has highlighted with Bitcoin's market cycle from 2021 is exactly what it looks like.
Thank you, Tom.
I just want the target though. Like I need the target. I feel like I'm
Max.
I might start crying
don't be the
throwing up.
normie. Don't be the
have a
normie
pitch fit.
CT guy.
I need
Target.
to see the target.
It's like you spend 2 hours writing a thread, right? You give your best
Target
explanation.
entry, stop loss, liquidation,
Leverage.
Spoon feed me the play. I want the level.
Just fill these, please.
I'll tell you guys my target for tether dominance, okay? Yeah, that's what I want. I think sub 2.5% minimum. Yes.
Fill in these. I had a guy
Leverage.
DMing me that literally the other day. He's like, "Wait, what is this Discord? What's what's stop loss liquidation? To all that." And I was like, "No."
Someone
Incorrect.
asked me if I would share my stop loss for Pepe the other day,
Oh no.
and I just said yes, it's 0. And I'm not joking. That's the thing. Everybody thinks I'm joking. I'm not.
Anytime anybody asks you the question, how much leverage should I use on this trade? They're already approaching the trade the completely wrong way.
Yeah.
If you're approaching it from like, okay, I'm going to take this trade here and I get liquidated here. Like you are not setting up a trade based on your actual invalidation. You're just setting up a trade where you're invalidated when you get liquidated, because they're two very different things, obviously. But I like personally to figure out what I'm risking. And so I know, okay, like if I take this big of a position, I'm going to lose this much money if my invalidation gets hit. I'm not worried about liquidation. But people are like, well, yeah, how much leverage do I need to, how much leverage should I take this trade? What they're basically just asking is how much leverage can I get away with without getting liquidated?
Yes. And I think there's a major disconnect between like, I don't think most people understand, because they'll always say things to me like, hey, I own like X amount of Andy. Is that enough? And I'm like, enough for what? I don't know what you.
I mean, the answer is no. So
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what you're asking me.
is that enough?
Yeah, I'm like, no, it's not. Whatever it is, you need.
It's like, are you old enough?
Yeah.
Old enough for what?
I'm like, I don't know. Is it enough? You tell me. I don't know.
I love those questions.
How big of a degenerate can I be without being punished?
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. Watch closely. He might not say it, but he's going to show you.
Holy
I'm just
cow, guys. We have 580 likes live on this stream.
More.
Make it smaller, Jackus. Yeah. More. There he comes. There he goes.
Don't you dare tell me we're gonna pull back here, Jackus. I can't. Yeah, there we go. Study that. Observe.
I don't know. I mean, that's decent, Jackus. That's decent.
I hate it. Actually, I hate it. You think I can? Do you think I can deal with a pullback through 2025? I won't do it.
Jackus, keep that up. But I just want to show you this. What do you think about this?
That's what I was thinking.
Fits my bias.
Yeah, I'm more so thinking
like all right, let's put on my chart back. So like that's what I'm saying, right? Like I'm not saying like you don't follow the fractal in a way that you expect exactly the same two pullbacks here. That's not how you entertain it. You just entertain it that we are around there and that we are going to go for lower levels. But this pullback can actually be exactly like here. Like what can happen here is exactly this price action. Like you can literally get this one here on the daily. So let's put on the daily. And what you can get is exactly this one.
Jackus, you know what else it looks like is that pendle structure we were trading a few months ago.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I love this. I love this structure because it keeps on working, Tommy, by the way.
Is that when Pendle was cooked?
Yeah. It had a huge leg down from a structure.
What's it doing now? I haven't even looked at it.
It's about it's almost at like $5.50. I can't believe it, but
you guys were on an angry witch hunt with Pendle. I remember.
Yeah, that was so random, dude.
Pendle was so
random. You guys just woke up one day and you're like, "This is going to zero at all."
Max, it was when we were both in Europe and we came back and everyone in the Discord was shorting Pendle, and I was like, "What's happening?"
I know. I was like, "What did I just miss here, man?" Like, they hate this thing. I was like, I don't even know what it is.
Never heard of Pendle before. Like,
yeah, I just probably heard someone. Maybe it was Tommy. I do not know, but I heard someone talking about it, and I just opened the chart. I was like, "Bro, this shit is going way down," and it went, and many people made lots of money on it.
Oh, it did puke, bro. Holy crap!
It went like 50% lower after that.
Oh my gosh, bro! It puked down to like under $2. That's crazy. Wow. It's kind of recovered since then. Obviously, everything has, but yeah.
Pendle will go to zero. It will go to zero one day. I'm not joking when I say that.
Tommy's gonna single-handedly ruin DeFi at the end of the cycle.
Yeah, so I was at first shorting here, and then I closed it, and then I reshort it and went for this whole leg down. That was the August drop.
I remember that.
I was closing around here. To be honest, I didn't close down here, but it was really nice. Yeah, so wait, I lost yeah, here. So yeah, speaking about this one, right? It can totally from here play out like this. Like this can totally be your max pullback. And then you kind of like grin like this, and then there is further sell-off, and then another final sell-off. So it doesn't have to be like, you know, all this. It's more about understanding at which phase we are, and that lower levels are next, whatever happens in here. So like whether it's this one or whether it's this one, doesn't matter, because lower is next.
So Jackus, moving on from this, if you're okay with it, you were talking last week about the ETH CME gap that we just filled and are now bouncing out of it.
True.
Might be worth following up on because it's playing out how you thought it would. I don't know if you've checked it today.
Yeah.
But yeah, study that. So
just random, we got lucky again, guys.
Got lucky. Yeah, better lucky than good, right?
Go follow Crypto for more advice.
Are you thinking that's probably the bottom, Jackus, or you think we get a full fill on that gap?
We could still. I don't mind.
I personally mind. I take it personally.
Yeah, we need to. This
That's-
needs.
I'm
that's
just
you.
sick of these greedy bears. They just never take the pullback. You know, they always want more. They say, "Oh, I'll bid it in the gap," and then they get it, and they're like, "No, more." You know, and I'm like, why should you, Mr. Sideline Copor, why should you get a perfect pullback? You know, and it bothers
That's
me.
true.
I take it personally.
Well, to be fair, two things. Their perfect pullback is down here. This is what they want, and they are not getting it.
They're
right?
not getting it. No chance.
This is the perfect pullback. This is just a lower time frame perfect fill. But as you said, even if we were to get it, they would just be like, "Yeah, but I'll wait for this," right? Like we saw that during BTC going down. It was like, yeah, I'll buy down here, and then it comes to that level, and they're like, "No, I'm not buying this shit. I'll buy way lower," and then it goes higher, and they're like, "One last sweep," and then it doesn't come and pumps to new all-time highs. They're like, "Oh, cycle top."
Yeah.
So man, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm just listen. Look at my name. Look at my name, guys. You know, I don't care. I'm unbothered. I'm just moisturized at these levels. I know what's coming. I'm in my own lane. I'm flourishing. Be like
Look at
that.
his face. Look at the face. Do you see it? Look at his face. Look at the leaves around his head. Man, I mean, does he look concerned to you? No, he doesn't. My only question is he naked under there? It kind of looks like he might be.
He might.
I
be.
would not trust that water to be nude.
That little glass here. So I'm unbothered. You know, I don't care. Does it pull back? Yeah. You know, have fun, bears. You know, enjoy
They
it.
still won't
Enjoy-
buy it. That's the funny part. They won't buy that either.
No, they'll never buy it. They'll never buy it.
They just want to talk about how the yield curve is uninverting and how everything's going to collapse, even with unemployment sub 4%. They just love to be bearish, man. Guess what, bucko? There's always something that's fucked. There's always something that's in contraction. You'll never bid. You'll sit here and you're going to watch another bull market go by, and then you're going to be here next cycle doing the same thing, and you'll never, ever bid. That's what I've learned about these bears, man, is it's never a good enough pullback. They'll never bid. And then when they finally get their VIX blowout, where, you know, when Japan liquidated itself, at the same time the U.S. had an unemployment print at 4.3% in August, still they got their volatility blowout, and they still won't bid. You know, and they never will bid ever.
Do you know what they will do during this move if it comes?
Yeah, exactly. Look at the teeth, bro. Look at the teeth.
Oh my god.
They'll be like, "I told you so. It's coming down."
And then they're gonna start being like, ha ha ha. Look at everything is outperforming ETH. ETH bears in shambles again. They just never learn, man. They never learn.
Yeah, because you can't even put a meme up there without the chat shilling the ticker, man.
Oh my god.
Unreal.
This is what it is.
Is it code?
It's like, what does this mean for my meme coin bags? Is he telling me they are in correction or is it going up, man?
Oh my god.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Might go just, and I said this last week, as you said, might just go straight from here. You know.
Do you guys know we're only 10% away from 2 trillion market cap for Bitcoin?
I was gonna say, I was hoping you're gonna say, do you guys know that we are just 2 likes away from 777? But no.
We're
Wait,
not quite there. Another like 150 before we get there, but
how do you feel about ETH topping at 1 trill?
Who, me?
Anybody? 1 trill market cap for ETH.
I don't feel
what's that? A 2.5x from here?
it's a,
Yeah, like a 3x.
no.
That's all we
No.
need, but I think it goes higher.
Wait,
Yeah.
ETH is at 380 billion market cap.
All right, so yeah, 2.5x.
I mean,
It's
I'm
not 2.5x.
dude, just give me 10k ETH and my Andy goes to 2 to 5 billion. I'm fine with that, but I think you could get more like 1.5 trillion for ETH, personally.
I could see up to like 2 at the peak. I mean, in previous cycles, we've seen ETH dominance peaking out near like 20%. So if our cycle top is near like 10 to 12 trillion, that probably means ETH is hitting 2 trillion.
What the fuck?
It doesn't even make sense.
Back to Thailand for you, jackets.
It's over, guys. Trump liquidated me back to Thailand.
Back to
Stop loss what hit. What's going on?
I had no idea you were from Thailand, Jackus. All right, Jeff. He said, "Mr." Look at how respectful he was. His name is Buccarino, and he said, "Andy Chart, Mr. Jackus." I mean, that's polite. That's polite.
Anderino.
Buccarino.
Baccarino. Yeah. Before we get to that, you just gotta love this. Just gotta love this. Oh boy. Gap down, range, gap up, come back, retest it. Look at the
And they
bounce.
still won't bid, Jackus. They
Never.
still won't bid.
Never.
No matter how clear it is, they won't bid.
Please, Mr. Jackets.
Please, please, Mr. Jenkins, please chart for me. Oh boy. Anderino, let's do Anderino.
Andy Bobandy, Fee Fifo Andy Buccarino. Here we go.
You added a new word to the equation. I see.
It is what it is. I felt inspired.
Oh wait. Which one should I do? Should I do Andy USD? Should I do Andy against ETH?
I like Andy ETH. That's the true valuation. So you could just divide this by ETH, and then you'll get the pair.
Which pair are you using when you put it on Trading View, Max?
So click the ticker in the upper left that you just had, right there, and then just divide that by ETH USD.
Okay. This is the one you're using?
Yeah, because it's like intrinsically, Andy is ETH beta, right? So
yeah,
when you value it, and I'm not telling you, Jack, 'cause I'm telling the audience, the true valuation of Andy is paired against ETH. I know we love the USD valuation, but if you want the most accurate levels in valuation, you pair it against ETH. So Little Birdie told me that there's an exchange listing this week.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just a little birdie.
So, oh wait. I'm really liking this one. This is like one of your One of the most favorite structures you can get in a bull market. It's called vertical accumulation. What you're looking for is like when ND goes, into full-blown parabolic extension, is when it breaks this logarithmic uptrend to the upside, and then it's really gonna start to go. I like this series, right? Like there is lots of legs in the middle, and you can argue like, yeah, but there is this one and this one, and it's like, yes, but this is the bigger picture, and you keep constantly getting this, right? So like here, look, you also get these little. Let me actually mark them differently so people understand. Let's do like a little penguin. Not sure why it was there, but, or it's not a penguin. It's the I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
That's a penguin. No, that's
Is
a
it penguin?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
penguin.
So study charting Andy with penguins. And so you you always kind of get the, let's not count the initials, but basically from here. And what you get is like you get the leg, and then you get the 1, 2, 3s. Then you get the leg, right? It started from here, the impulsive one. Then you get the 1, 2, 3s, and then you get the little in between. No one cares about it. Then you get the impulsive, and then you get the 1, 2, 3s, and then you get the impulsive. And the main thing here is that, again, here you broken the structure on this leg higher, then you get the retest, and now you finally like fully confirmed it. And so anything in here is just must buy. I like that.
You see the cat?
Yeah, and especially because we have the GIF for it in BB Discord, and it's
Yeah.
literally been the same as today.
Yeah.
Wait,
Wait, guys.
are we living in a matrix? I just had deja vu.
Jackus,
The-
the Bitcoin options are probably going live tomorrow on the ETFs.
Whoa,
That's huge.
study leverage.
0 DTs.
Yeah,
Dude, I might have to dip my toe into that, man.
I know, bro.
0 DT. We're back, guys.
We're so back.
We're so back. I can't wait to fight my Theta Decay again. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna bring lots of Wall Street degeneracy. That's what's going to happen.
Study the impact of options on the price of NVIDIA.
Mhm.
It's literally the most bullish thing ever to have options for Bitcoin. Oh my God, he just
study having 2x and 3x MicroStrategy stock. Once
Dude,
again.
MSTR is either going to end with Michael Saylor being worth $1 trillion or some sort of catastrophic implosion. And I don't know. I know it's years from now, but the whole
It's
thing,
happening.
he's going to be a trillionaire.
No, he's going to
He's
get
getting
somehow
liquidated.
blown out. He's
And
getting
let
liquidated.
me be clear. I am rooting for Big Mike more than anybody, man. I love Michael Saylor, man. He hypes me up. He's got the biggest balls I've ever seen. But somehow in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's a house of cards. This can't end well. And I don't know who's gonna like come after him, or if they can. I think if they come after him and his company, it's going to be from so much higher, right? Like I think he'll be like a trillionaire for like a day or something like that, and then he's going to keep buying Bitcoin with like convertible notes at like 250K per Bitcoin, and then that's going to open the door. because his entry is safe now, but he's going to keep buying.
Did you
That
see
might
what
be
he
the problem.
bought recently? He was buying 89K all
Yeah,
weekend.
cheap sats.
Oh my god.
Michael Saylor is going to eventually be exit liquidity. I kind of view him in the same role that you can view it like a Grayscale the last cycle, where I mean Grayscale got out. To be fair, like they took a haircut, but Grayscale got out of the last cycle unscathed. They did some dastardly deeds to send us into price discovery in 2020. So maybe that's a parallel to the last cycle, Grayscale to MicroStrategy. But I tend to agree with you, Max. Like he's going to buy Bitcoin at some ungodly prices, average up, and it could put his position at risk at some point over the next few years.
It's going to be years down the road, but I mean, and who knows? Maybe he'll get away with it, right? I think his only out, because we're looking at Andy now, but not the only way that he escapes this is he needs to pay down that debt. If he can pay down that debt, he's fine. So Bitcoin needs to become more centralized in order for him to actually get out of this thing alive. And I think he knows that, right? He's made some comments about like, I want the big banks involved. And like, he's talked before at length about this paradigm of being able to borrow against your Bitcoin, pull out dollars against it, and access it. And he needs that. Like if Bitcoin goes to like 300K, and he can access that liquidity without selling Bitcoin, just borrowing against it, whether he gives it to big banks and they issue him loans and then he uses those loans to pay down the debt, then he's fine. If that doesn't materialize, that's when he gets into trouble, right? So who knows? I mean, he could be fine, but he's got to pay down that debt in the next couple of years.
I mean, dude, they've turned what was supposed to fix the house of cards of TradFi into a house of cards.
Yeah.
Like they really have.
They have. Jackus, can you invert this Andy chart? Can you just invert it real quick? Because this'll cooked, bro. Cooked.
It's over.
Cooked.
It's over. I wanted to address that MicroStrategy discussion because it's a big one. It's basically what has become is perpetual mobile, whatever you pronounce it, and it's just Wall Street buys more MicroStrategy stock and then he buys more Bitcoin, which means that the price of Bitcoin goes up so that Wall Street can go and buy more MicroStrategy stocks and so forth. And what the history has taught me is that there is never anything that gets too big and doesn't implode later on. Doesn't matter if it's a civilization, it doesn't matter if it's anything. If it's you can always get like a certain animal just getting overpopulated, and then there is like an overpopulation of a predator that comes after it, and things get into balance. Life loves to get into balance, and there is no way that he becomes too big of a persona and doesn't implode in some ways. And I think the ways it can happen, and I think potentially the best for him is like be like this cheerleader for Bitcoin. He makes money for TradFi and he becomes too big. And then he is going to disappear and live off in like Argentina or something. And then or like somewhere in the world hidden, right? And and just enjoy his life. But I think the way it's going to happen is likely that he said this: he will buy the next cycle top. And what I think happens is that he will keep issuing more debt and keep buying more until he buys the actual top, and he will keep on buying there. And then there's a big drop in price. And then suddenly the investors will start to sell his stock. He will have to repay, and he will have to start selling BTC, and he will have to start paying off the debt. And it will be just like the same spiral that got us up. It will be the next bear market, and it will liquidate him in that way, in some ways. And I do not know, like this is just a theory. It can happen in many, many ways. But again, even though I do not have an exact explanation, and I think nobody can really have it right now. Again, what history has taught me that whenever there's a big entity in life, it implodes later on because others have incentive to not let that happen.
I really don't think it's that different from like a Luna type of Ponzi, which
Yeah.
means it can get so skewed that you forget that it's a Ponzi, but it probably will eventually blow up for the reasons that you just said, Jack. I think he's going to probably average in at prices that are too high and maybe get caught with his pants down after looking like a genius for a few years. But
Yeah.
I do tend to agree that Sailor probably will be a casualty of the next bear market, but I mean, he's probably got some really entertaining times ahead of him before that happens.
True that. Like study what how Doc One, right? Like got big before he got into jail. So something like that will likely happen too. And by the way, guys,
How much higher do we think MicroStrategy goes against Bitcoin? Like, do we think that it's maybe because I feel like at a certain point you're going to start to see Bitcoin probably outperforming MicroStrategy because the market knows MicroStrategy is going to have to issue all this debt. The risk reward will eventually favor holding Bitcoin more than MicroStrategy.
look at this chart. And by the way, I'm still long MicroStrategy while saying this, because I think the fraud can go on for a little longer. But no parabolic chart goes forever. I think right now it's FOMO for lots of people, but I think that this can still overshoot from here, and then it's something like this. You will get like a monthly candle of this sort of kind, and it can keep going for a while. But by the way, Wall Street, most people do not know this, and I'm actually like surprised that nobody is mentioning it, and probably not many people remember. But this is where Wall Street was accumulated big time. They were not accumulating Bitcoin; they were accumulating MicroStrategy. And for example, Vanguard accumulated like plus 30,000% of MicroStrategy. Like they increased their position by 30,000% in MicroStrategy during this period. Just absolutely crazy. So it's been going on since here. They buy MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy goes on and buys spot Bitcoin. Spot Bitcoin goes up. They buy MicroStrategy and so forth. And they're laughing right now, probably. They're like, dude, we have this, perpetual money thing.
I mean, I feel like these TradFi sharks, they're basically like baiting Michael Saylor into buying more and more and more and more and more,
Yeah.
to try to get him into that position to be vulnerable, because I don't think he is right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
He's pumping their bags.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing exactly what he loves to do, which is what they want him to do, right? So we'll see who comes out of this thing. And again, I'm on Team Mike, 100%. I'm on Team Mike.
Another prisoner's dilemma is what we
Yeah.
have to buy to get out. So,
and you know what the biggest dilemma is, Tommy? It's that people still haven't signed up for all of our premium offerings, which is it's a recipe for disaster. So perhaps you could tell them about it as we wrap up the show.
It is a recipe for disaster, Max, because we are not only offering you tools to be able to tackle this cycle, but we give you the opportunity to take advantage of discounted rates because we package them together. We were talking about it a lot last week. Obviously, we were showing the BB terminal off about 2 weeks ago on Market Check. So if you're still catching up to some of our previous shows, I would highly recommend checking that out. But if you're still looking for your go-to tool for this cycle, right, your magic bullet, the BB terminal is going to be that tool. I promise by the end of the cycle, this will be the best crypto tool that you can use as a data aggregation syndication platform for active traders, for degenerates that love to use the chain. You will be using the BB terminal, I promise you. Like I said, we have a lot of useful data for pretty much all different types of traders and investors. So make sure to check out the BB terminal. And like I said, we were nice enough to package it with our premium Discord, guys. We've had a bunch of people joining lately, so shout out to our new members. But guys, we legitimately spend 4 to 5 hours every single day with our subscribers, breaking down our thoughts on the market, both before and after the New York Open. So you get to hear from us twice a day. You get access to our positioning as we take it. I mean, it really is such an invaluable resource. And on top of that, you get an outstanding community to go with it. So if you're looking for that community that you want to stick around for the bull market, if you're looking for alpha for the bull market, right? Because we are heading into effectively up only conditions. You are running out of time to kind of like add to your toolbox per se. So I would definitely recommend both the terminal and the Discord. And like I said, we were nice enough to package those two products together for you. Of course, not to forget about the BB Academy, guys, which is another thing you can add to your tool set. Maybe you're looking to, hone that tool set a little bit. Maybe you're looking to become a master trader. BB Academy can help you do those things. And we even were nice enough. We're very nice people, clearly, because we threw in free courses for you guys as well. But the full paid course really is invaluable. You get to learn from a myriad of traders who have absolutely crushed these markets in a variety of different ways, guys. As Max says all the time, there is no one way to conquer crypto, and BB Academy is a perfect testament to that. But maybe you're not an active market participant, or maybe you are, and you're interested in having the team manage your money for you. We do have an SEC registered hedge fund as well. That is BB Wealth Management, guys. And that is run by Because Bitcoin team and focuses on digital assets in a way that looks to capture their asymmetric history for upside returns while also balancing the financial risk posed in any market. So if becoming an accredited investor or LP is something that interests you, we also have information for that linked in the description below. If you guys enjoyed Market Check, we'll be back for another episode tomorrow. We are live Monday through Friday, our typical start time around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So looking forward to seeing you guys once again tomorrow. But before that, we have Market Talk with King Wabi this afternoon, hosted through our Because Bitcoin Twitter account. So make sure to stay following and subscribed to both our Because Bitcoin account as well as our host, King Wabi. So you can be notified not just when we schedule those spaces, but also when we go live. But that's it from us, guys. That was a great show to start a Monday. We cooked a little bit longer than usual, but you guys absolutely smashed the like button. So shout out to you as well. And yeah, until we see you guys tomorrow, thank you again. And as always, stay safe.